combination of expiring tax cuts and across-the-board government spending cuts, which became effective on December 31st, 2012. The idea behind the fiscal cliff? These two events, which would proceed as planned, would have a detrimental effect on the economy. However, going over the fiscal cliff would have a significantly reduction in the federal budget deficit. It was created by the United States Congress in August of 2011 in order to resolve a one-sided struggle over the rising federal debt ceiling. Actions taken by Congress on January 1st, 2013. Congress only addressed the revenue side and postponed any decision as spending cuts, sequester, until March 1st. They extended the Bush air tax cut permanently for people making less than $400,000 per year and households making less than $450,000. Payroll tax rates increased from 4.2% to 6.2%. They extended unemployment benefits for one more year, and the doc fix, which prevents decreasing rates at which Medicare pays physicians. What should Congress have done differently? Not waited until the last minute. Lawmakers had 507 days until August 2011 to address the fiscal cliff. However, it still came down to the final hours before a solution was reached, which was unnecessary, a self-inflicted burden on the economy and financial markets. What was omitted on January 1st, 2013? Social Security. It does not contribute to the federal deficit. However, it adds to the growth of the national debt. In the 2008 Farm Bill, which continues unpopular policies, which eliminated funding for most organic, specialty crop, energy, and beginning farmer programs. Additional actions taken on March 3, 2013. President Obama signed the sequester, which implemented across-the-board budget cuts after last-ditch talks between Republicans and Democrats failed. It was a 50-50 between defense and domestic discretionary spending. Government agencies must now begin to hack a total of $85 billion from their budgets between March 4th and October 1st. However, Congress can stop them at any time if the two parties agree on how to do so. Washington must now turn to the issue of slashing the budget deficit and the $16 trillion national debt. Some things that will be cut are defense spending. Funding for the government emergency response system for disasters will also be slashed, as well as eliminating care for up to 373,000 seriously mental ill individuals. Keep in mind, on March 27th, the temporary federal budget agreed upon to avoid the fiscal cliff is due to expire. Is the sequestrian a good tool to addressing the federal deficits? No, I don't believe so, but there is evidence that suggests that the cuts might not be as painful as some expect, which might even yield some unexpected benefits along the way. They include Democrats successfully pushed to exempt most forms of politically sensitive entitlements spendings from the automatic cuts. Allow government agency to contain the damage, at least temporarily. With that being said, this would go into federal furloughs, for example, require a 30-day notification period before legally taking effect, thus taking time to work its way through the system, potentially leading policymakers to negotiate a replacement for the cuts, as well as the executive branch greater latitude in allocating the cuts across each agency. Policymakers have a variety of tools at their disposal that would allow them to delay the full impact of the budget tightening.